Kamara driving. It's the...
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hey!
From nearby Norcross, Georgia, it's Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's a carry now for Mike Gillislee. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Beathard. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. Throwing
on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. They were looking that time for Leonte Carew. And it's 3rd and 4.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
390.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 18 carries for an even 100 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that, too.
He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it.
The pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Rivers now on 2nd down. On target over the middle to Hill. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Caught left side by Hilton. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
This is Gillisley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Second down, Rivers. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Back to it after the pick 6. Rivers setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And out across midfield down to the 45. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A first down throw here for Rivers. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. From the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions, that confident veneer that you have. It's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, under-throwing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Gillisley. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Beathard. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rivers, and incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
On 3rd down, Rivers. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play in the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every play...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Rivers to throw it. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage. And this one is right through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
To throw is Beathard. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's McBride. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. To throw is Beathard. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress as well as score. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. To throw is Rivers. Over the middle to Smith. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Rivers. And that's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
380!
Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
180!
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Smith catches left side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, 2nd quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well, probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. So we've come upon halftime. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here's Beathard to throw. Flushed out right. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll throw here. Beathard. This is brought in by Hardy. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Gillisley. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. This is Gillisley again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he has Carew. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw Beathard. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Beathard to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slides. Steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Caught left side by Hilton. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. And that's incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Rivers. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out here and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And that is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 3, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Play fake, Rivers. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A give. This is Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
From the gun, Rivers. And Hill with it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Running with Kamara. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Rivers. The open man is Smith. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Rivers. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is for the moment. The 6th seed is there, has been able to take a victory to him. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's 30 yards now in the last two plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Beathard now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. It's caught by Carew. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Detroit!
To throw is Beathard. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can. But if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
Right back to him on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Second down, Rivers. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that... Sets him up for third down. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets up making some noise. It's 3rd and short. There's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rivers on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Kamara. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? Now Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will bump the lead up to 11. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Beathard. Carew's got it complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Beathard. It's hauled in by Hardy. And at a 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Gun!
To throw is Beathard. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Here's Beathard to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Dancing to his left. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
No, check, Patriots!
They'll run with Gillisley. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the